Welcome or welcome back. My name is Joanne, and today's video is my introduction to my 2026 Pan That palette. Okay, if you're aware of my channel, you will know I've tried doing a Pan That palette and failed. Like just failed. You know, it was really bad. But I am determined. I'm determined. I have, I think, the perfect palette for me to pan. And actually, I have a few palettes to talk about today. I will get into it. Technically 4 palettes. One is like a bunch of singles, one is gonna be like my priority palette, and the other 2 are just for shades if I need them, if I use them up, you know. There's other palettes that I want to use up. So I guess without further ado, let's just get into my palette intro. I'm gonna start with my priority palette, and that is my Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes. Sorry, that just like changed the lighting. But yeah, my little baby. It is what I'm wearing today on my eyes. Literally my baby. I love this palette so much. Opening up the palette, this is what she looks like. No pans. Okay, I have some pretty good dips in this transition shade, this shimmer shade, and this crease shade. And normally a goal for a Pan That palette is to use up the whole palette. That's just not me. Okay, I've picked a few shades that I want to focus on finishing, but it's not going to be all of these. So let me go through those. So this first shade I do want to use up. I'm currently using it as a lid setting shade for my eyeshadow primer. The second shade I want to use up is just a nice shimmer for the lid. This third shade I definitely want to try to use up. This is a great transition shade. This fourth shade I also want to use up. It's gonna be a good like crease shade, outer corner shade. And then this shade I want to use up. This is my favorite shimmer in the palette. It's the one that's on my eyes today. It's just very pretty. Love it so much. I'm surprised that there isn't a pan on there yet. And then this shade, which I do have on today along with this is like the outer corner crease shade. And then this is the transition shade. And this is like my go-to look with this palette. But this one I would like to use up. This one I would like to use up is just a nice gold shimmer shade. And then this one I would like to use up. It's just a nice like cooler toned shimmer shade for the lids. So as you can see, I don't want to use up this whole palette, but I do want to use up most of it. And I have decided that I am the type of person where I want to have a collection of singles to work with. Because like this palette, right? For example, say I use up this shade, right? And say this is the only palette in my collection, okay? Obviously it's not. I have plenty of other palettes. But hypothetically, this is the only palette in my collection. So if I use up this lid setting shade first before anything else, I would need to purchase a palette just for the lid setting shade, you know. But like with singles, you can just replace the single, you know. I mean, obviously you can do that with palettes too. You can just buy singles to use in lieu of this, but I don't know, in my brain singles just make more sense. So that's where I kind of want my collection to go towards regarding eyeshadows. I might as well talk about these other 2 palettes before getting into my singles palette. So this is the Makeup by Mario. No, this is not the Ethereal Eyes. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, the neutrals. Yes. And this is what it looks like. It's the more cool toned one. And this one only has a few shadows that I want to try to use up. So MN2 would be a good like transition type of lid setting shade. MN4, which is this one, a great transition shade, crease shade. MN6, which is the second one, great crease shade. And then MN7 would be a nice crease shade as well. So only those 4 shades from this palette, which is kind of sad. You know, if you look at it like that, like, oh, I bought this whole palette and those are the only ones I'm interested in using up. Then why buy a palette? Again, going back to the whole I want to get singles for my collection thing. Next is my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. So I guess this is just like a Makeup by Mario year, you know. This one also only has a few shades that I want to try to use up. So This second shade would be a good like transition shade. This third shade is a good lid setting shade. This fourth shade is a nice like transition-y crease shade. And this one I use all the time for my crease as well. This has like an olive tone to it that I just love. And yeah, the rest of them, I might use them, but if I don't, I'm not gonna be super upset. And again, why buy a whole palette if you're not gonna use the whole palette? Make it make sense, you know? This is actually a palette that I reached for a lot this year, especially this and this, like these two shades, I reached for a lot this year. So yeah, those are the shades that I would like to use up from my Makeup by Mario palettes. And I'm gonna go through my little singles BYOP that I made to just go along with those palettes, just to give a little more variety, you know? So this first shade is from Sydney Grace. I got it free with a purchase that I made previously. And this, I thought this would be nice for an inner corner highlight. This is from Glam Matrix Nearly Natural. This is in the shade Naked Eye. One of my favorite shadows in my collection. But it seems like it's like not the same anymore. I don't know, it doesn't have like the same impact it did before. I don't know if it's because it's a little older. Don't get me wrong, it's still really pretty, but it's just less sparkly. I don't know, it's just, I just don't feel the same way about it as I once did. This one is from Glaminatrix, I think Sugar and Spice. This is shade Basil. This is like a blue-purple shift. I don't know if you'll be able to know. And then this one is from a Natasha Denona palette. This is just also an inner corner highlight. It's actually the inner corner highlight I have on today. So that's what that is. And it has a decent dip in it now because I've been using it as an inner corner highlight. This is from Adept Heather Austin. This is the shade Passport, and it's like that pinky, pink to blue shift type of shadow with like gold in it as well. Very pretty. This is from Adept. I think it's from their Sumerian Sunset palette, and this is in the shade Mogue. This is really pretty as well. Okay, gorgeous. I kind of just put this one in here because I needed to fill a space. And I was like, you know what? I'll put this one in here because it's really pretty and I wouldn't mind getting use out of it. This shade is also from Adept Heather Austin. This is the shade So Excited, and such a great like taupey everyday kind of shade. And then this is from Blend Bunny Blends. I think it's the shade Cream and Sugar. I could be wrong, but I've just figured it would be nice to have a matte white to use on my inner corner whenever I want to. So that's my little BYOP. And that is my Pan That Palette intro. Yes, it seems like a lot. Okay, but again, my priority palette is Etherealize. That's the main palette that I'm gonna be reaching for. But I do have everything written down so I can track it. Let me know if you're doing a Pan That palette this year. I would love to know and just keep up with your updates, you know, see how you're doing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, a great night, whatever time it is for you. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.